Hello and welcome to this week's League of Legends Esports Top 25 Power Rankings. I cover the top 25 teams, in my opinion, with a little assistance from an algorithm to figure out who the top 25 teams are. Um, the algorithm is used to kind of compare regions against each other, utilizing MSI as the tool to determine region hierarchy, as well as how well a team does within their own region. More so, really, to try and figure out where the smaller region teams fit. If you are a smaller region team fan, I did do the top 10 of the smaller regions yesterday because obviously not all 10 of those teams are in the top 25 in the world. Kind of going over that for a second. There are 5 regions that are not represented on this board at all. Japan, Detonation Focus Me, they're 26th. CB Lull, Furry Esports, 28th. Latin America, Astral Esports, 34th. TCL, Nasser, Turkey Esports, 36th. And VCS, 38th with Saigon Buffalo. As reference, because Saigon Buffalo did play this morning, smaller region related, they moved up from 22nd to 16th, respectively, in the smaller region power rankings to show that, they will eventually probably get on this list. Because GAM Esports would have been on this list last split, actually, almost like 14th or something, because they had done so well. So it's not like it's impossible for one of those region teams to get on here. If you want a complete rankings, because your team doesn't get represented on here, the full power rankings end up on the Discord under the content channel. That is where I posted the complete smaller region power rankings, and obviously it'll be all 108 teams, 109 teams later today. So, start this out. 2 teams out, FPX, LNG. It hurts me to say it, but FPX continues to lose. LNG don't know what the hell they're doing. They on paper, they have a team that should be going to Worlds, and they can't put it together. So, it's as simple as that. 25th. Geez, I thought I had my notebook where I needed it, and I don't. 25th, dropping 2 spots, are J Team of the PCS. They are struggling right now. They lost a couple games. They're barely on this list. As you know, the PCS really have a couple teams really doing well. 4 of them, I think, are 9-3 or better, if I'm not mistaken. And one of them isn't even one of the teams that aren't 9-3 and better are the next team on the list, which is Frank Esports, new to the list. They did very well last week. Despite being 7-5, which is kind of concerning. I mean, you're gonna be like 7-5 in a minor region. How are they up here? Their wins are massive. Their losses are small. When they are on, they dominate their opponent. When they lose, it's a close loss. So that's kind of the feel we're getting for Frank Esports right now. Are they going to be able to, go to Worlds? Who knows? With the way J Team's playing lately, it's possible. There's Deep Cross Gaming as well, CTBC Flying Oyster, a couple teams that I mentioned yesterday and went over more specifically. Atop the PCS that could make a run. 23rd, the other new team to the power rankings. They're not an LEC team. I can't believe this has happened. FlyQuest, I have 23rd. FlyQuest are benefiting from a very easy schedule last week with Golden Guardians and Dignitas, padding their stats, dominant performances, now 7-4 in the LCS, and pretty firmly they're going to be in the playoffs. And honestly, the way the LCS has been playing, I would not be shocked if they could get that 3rd slot going to Worlds. Do I think that they could be competitive in play-ins against the other major regions? That's another conversation because, the star power isn't really there. But FlyQuest continue to do well. Jose Dioto, Takui, Philip is getting better by the day, which is a great sign. So FlyQuest are up here. 22nd. 22nd PSG. I had to alter my list. I had originally what I had I changed. PSG are 22nd, and that would mean they dropped down 1 spot. They lost a game. They might have lost to Frank, to be honest with you, Frank Esports. I'm not sure. They lost a game though. They're 10-2. Still pacing the PCS. Obviously, a team that we all know, very well as being one of the better minor region teams after their great runs internationally, constantly putting out players that go on to major regions. So, excuse me, PSG continue to do very, very well. 21st, I shouldn't have put this down. 21st, or TL, Team Liquid dropping one spot. Team Liquid are very disappointing. Vitality level disappointing. BLG level disappointing. LNG. All these teams very, very disappointing. Team Liquid are like that. 7-4. Losing to CLG, like, what the heck? Like, they should be embarrassed. And that's not to say anything about CLG, but TL's, the money they're spending, you should be embarrassed. Beat Immortals. So they're still on the board. If they were 6-5, they're probably not on this board because I'd be like, holy crap. I mean, if I have to put Astralis at 5-6 versus TL at 6-5, I mean, I can't believe I would even have thought about saying Astralis could be better than TL. But thankfully, TL won. Thank the Lord. 20th, Chief Esports Club. Chief Esports Club move up a couple spots for now. Giving them some love. They're the best minor region team. Teams around them are losing in these rankings, so they're allowed to go up. They're 17-0. Very, very good team. We'll see how they do internationally. If they make it there, if they don't make it there, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, that makes them like the biggest chokers ever. But very good team. Playing lights out, absolutely demolishing Australia. Moving on from Oceania and into international events for sure. 19th, so I can finally fix this. I can get past the tough part of my power rankings I screwed up. KT dropping 4 spots. I originally had them dropping way more, but I was like, no. Looking more at their last week. So, KT, you beat Nongshim. Good for you. Nongshim played very well today against Sandbox, so maybe that win's stronger than we thought. But lost to T1 2-1. Can't really fault you for that. When I look at this, and I go over this every week, if you're losing to teams above you, I'm not going to penalize you too much because really, I mean, yeah, I didn't expect you to beat T1. Now, if you're against a team that's probably in the same column as you, all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, now you're starting to show me that you aren't at that level yet. You aren't at that level of the team that's above you or around you. There's a separation here that we have to find. KT, we knew that T1 were better than KT, but KT continued to be a top 25 team. And honestly, after the way Sandbox played today, which we'll get to, I'm not really all that surprised. Actually, speaking of that, Sandbox are 18th. Dropping down 6 spots. They beat the Freaks. Great. Should beat the Freaks. The Freaks aren't that good. The Freaks are really falling apart. Lost to Gen G. Like I said, that's a loss that I kind of expect. The manner in which you lose, another story. Wasn't a very clean, situation. Losing to Nongshim is unacceptable, though. So they have to recover from that this week if they want to stay in the top 25, if they want to continue to be a top 4 team in the LCK. Losing to Nongshim, that is a win that they should have had. And the way in which they lost was not good. They arguably lost all 3 games. I mean, game 2, they win on paper, but Prince played good for one Baron fight, stealing a Baron with Aphelios, and they win the game on kills 11-10, or it was tied 10-10 or something like that. And I know kills aren't everything. They won the Baron, they won the fight, won the game. But that was it. Like, that 1 10-second moment was literally all that Sandbox had all series long, like where they were winning a game. So, very bad. Needless to say, very bad. 17th, G2. G2 moving up 1 spot. They beat Rogue. That's a big win. Move up 1 spot, but now I see you, G2. Maybe this is something to build off of after beating Astralis. Winning these 2 games. Big deal for G2 as they try and right the ship and figure things out. Obviously, I'm not going to say much more than that because who knows what kind of version of G2 we get this coming week. Anyone's Legend dropping 3 spots to 16th. Anyone's Legend now 7-5. They lost to OMG in the only game they've played in the past week. They lost 2-0, soundly lost. You're 16th. I honestly, I don't think anyone's hot take. Anyone's Legend will not make the playoffs. That's your hot take. I really, unfortunately, like I said, I think they've topped off, and there is not another gear for this team. 15th, moving up 4 spots. Our 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves continue to kind of meander here in this middle part of the rankings. 8-3, beat EG, big win. That's a big win. Beat TSM, should win. But that brings you up now because EG's up here, you're over here. You know, it all just kind of makes sense. A big game that they needed to win to kind of, gain some momentum going into playoffs. 14th, Excel moving up 3 spots. Excel continue to play very well. Beating Fnatic and Misfits this past week. Misfits is the win you should get. Fnatic's a tough win, but you got it. Could have lost. I mean, I don't remember how the game went, but on paper, you could lose that game against Fnatic if you don't take them seriously because Fnatic are struggling. But 7-4, Excel continue to be a very good team, and maybe can get that 4th seed. I mean, it's hard to believe that they could over G2, but Fnatic right now, the way they're playing, I went over it earlier today in my sneak peek. If you missed it, I am definitely not happy with the way Fnatic are playing. 13th, TT. Dropping 2 spots. This is going to upset people because last week I got criticized for TT, but I'm sorry, but TT right now are the guilty pleasure for my power rankings. They've been playing great. The algorithm loves them. Statistically, they play great League of Legends. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I really do. I think they're a quality team. 5-6, beat FPX, lost to Weibo, I believe 2-1. You lost to Weibo. Weibo, we're around here, so Weibo aren't on the board yet. That kind of gives you an idea, but people are going to say, oh, well, they lost to Anyone's Legend. Yeah, but honestly, I think TT are getting better by the day. With Kepler and Yao Yao in bot lane, they are better than they were before. Bechuan, UCal, I would prefer Zhao Zhang over Hoya, but right now we're getting Hoya, so right now, Thunder Talk, 13th. 12th, EG. Like I said, EG fell a bit. EG fell 2 spots after losing to 100 Thieves. Beat CLG, a win you should have, but then again, CLG beat TL, so maybe CLG are better than we thought. But 100 Thieves, losing to them, I still give you the edge right now, but you did lose to them in a best of 1. Right the ship. Weibo, 11th, moving up 5 spots. Weibo are an enigma. We all know they're an enigma. They could win Worlds. They could also be way down here at the bottom of the list. Like, depends on what day. Beat Thunder Talk, beat OMG. Right now they're hot. Can they keep it going? Who knows? If they do, watch out for Weibo. They are definitely the team to be afraid of. 10th place are Rogue, moving up 4 spots. 8-3. Lost to G2, that's not great, but beat Fnatic, which is a good win. I'm kind of righting the ship with Rogue right now in my power rankings. Kind of had them out of whack last week. I didn't want to move them up a ton, but they continue to play good League of Legends. I still think Rogue are probably I would if I had to bet money, I would bet that they were going to make Worlds still. I think they are a quality team. 9th place, Mad Lions, not moving at all, still 8-3. It would take significant amount of great play to move you to this list, this column. This column's like reserved for teams that I could see you winning Worlds. We went over it last week. Sorry, West, but you beat Vitality and SK. You keep winning, Mad Lions. Maybe if you like 3-0 Rogue or G2 in the finals of the LEC, maybe you end up on this list. And that's for anybody in the West. That's not just for Mad Lions. That's just how I feel. Sorry, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. 8th place, dropping 1 spot, EDG. EDG dropped 1 spot, lost to RNG. Like I said earlier, okay, so you lost your team in the column. You're in the same column as you. I'm not going to punish you too much for that. We just now know that RNG have your number right now. And they beat, who'd they beat? LNG. That's a quality win. LNG, no slouch, although they're playing absolutely awful and doing some stupid things with their builds. Still, on paper, a good team. Seventh, dropping 2 spots, down 1 Kia. DK 8-4, 9-4. Sorry. Beat HLE, lost to DRX. After DRX got completely smoked by Gen G today, that loss looks worse. So you're seventh. I could still see Damwon putting together a good run at Worlds and winning. I think anybody could see that. I'm not saying it's probable, but I think there is a world where you could see it. T1 moving up 2 spots to 6th. Big matchup 2 days from now. Massive matchup between T1 and Gen G. We love this matchup. This is huge. We'll see how that goes. T1 beat KT, beat Fred at Brion. They continue to be a very, very good team. However, 2-1 in both cases. That is a problem. They need to do better than that. 5th place, RNG. Oh, shit. Really bumped my board. RNG moving up 1 spot. Beat EDG, beat Rare Atom. Good win. Beat a team that's around you. Showing you are superior right now. Definitely a world's contending team without a shadow of a doubt. 4th place. Victory 5. Yes, this means what? This means that a new team is at number 1, right? Victory 5. They lost to JDG, which we haven't gotten to yet. Beat LNG, quality win, good win. Like I said earlier, when EDG beat them, but losing to JDG, I mean, it is what it is. Victory 5 had their starting 5 in that one. I can't wait to see a 5-game series. Sorry, out of them. But very good team, without a doubt. It could have been the day. Could have been the day. It's possible. 3rd place, top LCK team, Gen G. This is gonna upset some people. But the matter is, you completely crushed DRX. You couldn't have done a better job. And beat Sandbox and HLE this past week. So Gen G continue to cruise. If they beat T1 the way they beat DRX today, I'm going to put them first probably next week, depending on how the next 2 teams do. But if everybody wins and those 2 teams don't blow out their opponents, but Gen G really takes it to T1, it'll be tough not to put them number 1. Really doing a great job right now on the Rift, without a doubt. Final 2 teams, top are in 2nd, and JDG first, both moving up 1 spot apiece. Top Esports only played Ultra Prime, that's why I did them both. Played 1 team, you won 2-0. I mean, good work. JDG beating Victory 5, that's a massive win. That is massive for seeding purposes, for all sorts of things going into playoffs. Also beat BLG, which is no slouch. So, that's how I've got it right now for my top 25. Comment down below with your opinions. All opinions are valid. Go to the Discord if you want the complete power rankings. I'll have 108 or 109 teams on the content channel. The link will be in the description. My Patreon link is in the description, where I give over-unders and my predictions for who I think will win the games for $1 a day. So if you want to go there, go there. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.